Have you ever imagined that a tiny startup from India could build an electric car so cheap that it makes some of the world's biggest car companies uncomfortable? Not because it's faster than a Tesla, not because it's packed with luxury, but because it might solve the one problem that has stopped millions of people from buying an EV: the price. While most electric cars still cost more than what an average family can comfortably afford, an Indian company has unveiled something that sounds almost impossible: a solar-powered electric car. Priced at just around 4 lakh rupees, and the moment it was revealed, people started asking the same question: is this the future of transportation, or is it simply too good to be true? Because if this car actually delivers what it promises, it won't just change India's EV market, it could force the entire industry to rethink everything. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why a small car from India is suddenly attracting global attention, and why even the biggest EV brands may be watching very closely. Let's find out. Before we talk about the car itself, there's something important happening behind the scenes. India's electric vehicle market is growing at a speed very few people predicted. Just a few years ago, most people viewed EVs as something meant for wealthy countries. America had Tesla, China had BYD, Europe had its premium electric brands. India was mostly seen as a future customer, but that perception is changing rapidly. Electric vehicles are no longer a niche product in India. They are becoming part of everyday life. Government incentives, expanding charging infrastructure, and rising fuel costs have pushed millions of people to consider electric transportation. And while global manufacturers are trying to enter the Indian market, local companies have quietly been building solutions specifically designed for Indian roads, Indian budgets, and Indian lifestyles. That's exactly where this story begins. Because instead of trying to build another luxury EV, one startup asked a completely different question. What if an electric car could be affordable enough for ordinary people? And what if it could generate some of its own energy? That question led to the creation of the Vayve Eva. When the car appeared at Auto Expo 2025, it immediately stood out. Not because it was massive, not because it looked futuristic like a spaceship, but because of what was sitting on its roof: solar panels. And those panels are the reason this little vehicle started making headlines around the world. The Vayve Eva is being described as India's first solar-powered electric car. At first glance, it looks small, almost too small, but that's exactly the point. The car has been designed specifically for crowded cities, tight streets, and everyday urban commuting. Instead of focusing on unnecessary luxury features, the company focused on efficiency. And that's where things get interesting. Because despite its compact size, the Eva promises something that gets everyone's attention: a price tag of around 4 lakh rupees. That's thousands of dollars cheaper than many electric cars currently available around the world. Naturally, people started wondering, how can a company sell an EV at this price and still make it practical? The answer lies in the way the vehicle was engineered. Unlike many modern EVs that become heavier and more expensive with larger batteries, the Eva follows a different philosophy. Keep it light, keep it simple, keep it efficient. The car uses lightweight materials that reduce energy consumption and allow the battery to do more with less power. And speaking of batteries, the Eva offers a claimed driving range of around 250 kilometers on a full charge. For daily city commuting, that's more than enough for many users. But the feature that makes this vehicle unique isn't the battery, it's the sunlight. The solar panels integrated into the roof can add additional driving range every single day. That means while the car is parked outside, it can continue harvesting energy from the sun. Think about that for a second. Most vehicles lose value while sitting idle. This one is quietly collecting energy. And for people who mainly drive short distances in cities, those extra kilometers can make a surprisingly big difference over time. Now here's where things become even more interesting. Because despite its low price, the car isn't completely stripped down. Inside, drivers still get features people actually use every day: air conditioning, a touchscreen display, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and a surprisingly practical cabin layout designed for urban transportation. In other words, The company didn't try to build the cheapest car possible. It tried to build the smartest car possible. And that difference matters. But here's the bigger question. Why is the world paying attention? After all, new EVs launch every year. What makes this one different? The answer is simple. It challenges an assumption that has dominated the EV industry for years. The assumption that electric vehicles must remain expensive. For a long time, the industry has focused on bigger batteries, more performance, and more luxury. And while that approach created incredible vehicles, it also kept prices high. The Vayve Eva takes the opposite approach. Instead of asking how many features can be added, it asks how many costs can be removed. And that's a strategy that could have enormous implications for developing nations. Because countries across Asia, Africa, and other emerging markets face the same challenge. People want cleaner transportation, but affordability remains the biggest obstacle. A vehicle like this directly targets that problem. And that's why many analysts believe innovations like these could accelerate EV adoption far beyond traditional markets. Now, before we continue, if you enjoy discovering breakthrough technologies, future innovations, and game-changing engineering stories like this one, make sure you subscribe to Modern Discovery and turn on notifications. Because the next big technology revolution could already be happening right now, and we'll bring it to you first. What's even more fascinating is the story behind the company itself. Vayve Mobility isn't one of the giant automotive corporations people usually hear about. It's a startup. And like many startups, it began with an idea that sounded unrealistic. The company's founder believed electric transportation needed to become more practical, more affordable, and more accessible. Many people doubted the concept. A solar-powered EV at this price? Built in India? To some, it sounded impossible. But instead of chasing headlines, the team focused on solving problems. They spent years refining the design, reducing weight, improving efficiency, and integrating solar technology in a way that actually made sense for everyday use. The result is what we're seeing today, a product that doesn't try to beat luxury EVs at their own game. Instead, it creates an entirely different game. And the company isn't stopping here. Future plans reportedly include larger, family-oriented vehicles, improved battery technology, and expansion into international markets where affordable transportation is desperately needed. That's important because the real significance of the EV may not be the car itself. It may be what the car represents. For decades, major innovations in the automotive industry were expected to come from the same handful of countries. But today, innovation is becoming global, and companies that understand local problems often create the most powerful solutions. That's exactly why this story matters. The Vayve Eva may never compete directly with a high-end Tesla, and honestly, it doesn't need to, because its mission is completely different. Instead of targeting luxury buyers, it targets millions of people who simply want affordable, practical, and sustainable transportation. And if that strategy succeeds, the impact could be enormous. Not just for India, but for the future of electric mobility around the world. A small startup, a small car, a massive idea. Sometimes revolutions don't arrive with the loudest engines or the biggest factories. Sometimes they arrive quietly, powered by sunlight. And that's exactly why the world is paying attention. So what do you think? Could affordable solar-powered vehicles become the next major chapter of the EV revolution? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more incredible technology stories here on Modern Discovery. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.